Hello, I'm Steve Oliver. Welcome to the Vinyl Comedy Club. This week I am doing, from 1978, A Wild and Crazy Guy by Steve Martin. This was recorded and released in 1978. It was a double platinum selling album. One of the first comedians, I think, who did a big stadium show. And I know him more, and I think people know him in this country more as a film actor rather than a comedian. And I'm turning my tablet off because it keeps giving me notifications I don't want to see. I started properly. Who's falling asleep? I've started properly now. The beginning bit's never very good. Stick with it. Double platinum selling album. Like I said, this was before comedians really did stadium shows, and he was one of the first. And this was really at his breakthrough period, because the first half of the album is recorded in a comedy club, the Boarding House in San Francisco, and the B-side of the album is recorded at the Red Rock Amphitheatre in front of around about 10,000 people. So that's an example of how quickly he rose as well. So we'll get started, and let's go. I've noticed this inside the album as well. I didn't even know I had this until just now.
Thank you. Well, thank you very much. Great to be here for the closing night show here at what is this? This is San Francisco? Okay, been here for 2 weeks, and this is the closing night. We'll do 2 shows tonight. And I'm really looking forward to it. So let's get going, huh? I mean, I think there's nothing better for a person to come out and do the same thing over and over for 2 weeks. And this is what I enjoy, so I'm just going to do the same thing over and over and over. And I think rather than do it just twice, I think I'm going to do it over and over. I'm going to do the same joke over and over in the same show. This will be like a new thing. Looking for a little different
Stuart
kind
Lee.
of thing tonight. So this would be good. Okay. Hey, I'm not trying to be a big shot or anything like that, but I get my drinks half price. That's right, for every one you buy, I get 2. So I can just have about as much as I want, you know what I mean? And it doesn't affect me. No, I'm not on this stuff. Okay, I have had a lot of fun since I've been here. I do like coming to San Francisco because it's an intellectual town, and that's kind of what I'm into. I dig the intellectual kind of thing, and I had a good time since I've been here. I know that sounds phony because every entertainer in the world comes out, no matter where they are, they go, "Hey, it's really great to be here," and it really sounds fake, but I am sincere when I say, "Hey, it's really great to be here." But I dig the scene here. You know, I'm into the, sophisticated kind of thing, and that's, because I went to college. I studied philosophy, psychology in college, and I'm pretty proud of that. How many people study philosophy in college? So they can never raise their hand. They always go, like halfway, because they're so confused after about 2 years, you know. Oh, but shit. Anyway, I have a book coming out. I'm pretty proud of that. I'm getting more out of the comedy, more into the serious. There's a little child there. Hi. How old is that little child? 2? Got a joke for him. These 2 lesbians are walking down the street. Anyway, I do have a book coming out. It's kind of a serious work for me, and I hope you pick it up. It's called How to Get Along with Everyone. And I didn't write it by myself. I wrote it with this other asshole jerk off. But I have a couple other books. I did Bad Banana on Broadway. How many people read that? Just a few. Ceremony for a Fat Lip, did you read that? Oh, I did Renegade Nuns on Wheels, Dykes on Fire, and How to Make Money Off the Mentally Ill. This was a big one. How I Turned $1 million in Real Estate into $25 in cash. I wrote Mind Gone Haywire. I'll Take the Alphabet. Trouble in Doggyland. Let's see, Howdy Doody, Man or Myth. And I did the Apple Pie Hubbub. And of course, the Apple Pie Hubbub was a significant novel for me because that's when I first started using verbs. My novels really brightened up after that. It was great. It's a good thing. But it's great. I think school is an important thing because you do learn the important questions of life. Hey, Istimundus, Fury Abundus. Oh, forgot. You don't speak Latin. Okay. But I'm into language. This is my thing, you know. Language is the most important. I think you know what I'm trying to say. If you go to college, study the English language. So few people can really speak with pizzazz, you know? I think you know what I'm trying to say. Because we have a communication going here. We're into something. We are into something, man. And this is not drug-induced either. This is real. I've never had this feeling before, really. This is wild, isn't it? You feel it? I'm feeling it. But I am into the intellectual thing. I went to college. I studied the great philosophers, Socrates. I studied Plato. And, you learn the important things. Like if you're studying geology, which is all facts, as soon as you get out of school, you forget it all, you know? Because it's just numbers and things. But philosophy, you remember just enough to screw you up for the rest of your life. And you study the important, like ethical questions. Is it okay to yell movie in a crowded firehouse? Religious questions. Does the Pope shit in the woods? Keep waiting sometime, you know. Oh. If there is a God, give me a sign. See, I told you that the...
Was that joke used in Bruce Almighty? It's interesting how much confidence he's got on stage. There is no difference in his performance between this half where he's in a comedy club. I don't know how big the boarding house was, but it's closed down now, and it was the starting ground for a lot of comedians of this era, Robin Williams and all the the SNL people. Saturday Night Live is something that hasn't really travelled to this country, to be honest, and we know about it and we know bits of it, and obviously there's YouTube now. But growing up, I had no knowledge of Saturday Night Live at all, apart from snippets like when Blues Brothers came out and when Ghostbusters came out and things like that. They were obviously Saturday Night Live cast films, and obviously Blues Brothers was a spin-off as well. And I didn't see a Saturday Night Live sketch until Wayne's World came out, which was another spin-off, and I think the BBC bought all the sketches of Wayne's World and put them on as a kind of like 10-minute thing every night over the course of a couple of weeks. But yeah, it was something that never really crossed over here, and I don't know if Steve Martin even did stand up over here at that time, because obviously over here he's more well known for films, and he's done quite a lot of serious stuff as well. As his early comedy was preferable to me. He kind of went the way of Robin Williams, where he would do kind of sentimental stuff, as you know, rather than madcap comedy, which does make me wonder what would happen if John Belushi had lived, to be honest. But yeah, this performance is absolutely, this was done in a club, and the confidence he's got is there's no difference in it. There is a segment you can tell. He reads out a legal disclaimer or a contract type thing later on in this, and that's when it segs over into the amphitheater show, and you can tell from the audience that it's suddenly switched. It's not like two sets.
Died, you woke up, and you were in heaven, just like they always told you. And everybody had wings on and pearly gates. Wouldn't you feel stupid? Oh no! You mean that this is what? Oh! In college, they said this was all bullshit. Oh, well, I'll just come in and... What? You been keeping records on me? Well, it wasn't so bad. How many times did I take the Lord's name in vain? Ugh. 1,000,006. Jesus Christ. We're going to get to the meat of the act pretty soon. I'm just kind of coasting here. What do you want for $4? When I'm real show or something? I don't need this, you know what I mean? I'm a neat guy. More wine. It's so hard. It's so hard to believe in anything anymore. You know what I mean? It's like religion. I mean, you can't really take it seriously because it seems so mythological and it seems so arbitrary. And then, on the other hand, science, you know, it's just pure empiricism, and by virtue of its method, it excludes metaphysics. And I guess I wouldn't believe in anything if it weren't for my lucky astrology mood watch. You feel so small, you know? You go to college, you study about guys like Leonardo, who did everything. A scientist, a great painter, a great architect, designer. And you feel like an idiot. And I wanted to, you know, expand my life in the way that Leonardo did. And that's why I took up juggling. I know what you're saying. You're saying, Steve, where do you find time to juggle? Well, I juggle in my mind. Whoops. Okay, but people look at guys like the Mona Lisa. Leonardo's Mona Lisa, and they think, oh, that's not so great. But not a lot of people know this. The Mona Lisa was painted with one stroke. How's this? Oh, okay, I'm sorry. All right, okay. Excuse me, I just went to the Bahamas for a second. All right. Well, anyway, I guess you can tell that I'm into language, and language is kind of my thing, being a comedian, and if you don't have a command of the language, nothing to be embarrassed about, but because this is my profession, and let's face it, some people have a way with words, other people...
That's almost a repeat of the same joke, isn't it?
Not have a way, I guess. See, I'm into language. You have to have a command of the English language, you're just nowhere. I mean, like, say you get out of college, or whatever you do. You're going to go into business. Say you're going to open a bank. Now, just for an example, you've got to give it the right name. It's got to be something big and strong, like Security First Trust and Federal Reserve. And you have to name a bank that because nobody's going to put their money in Fred's Bank. Hi, I'm Fred. I have a bank. You got 1,500? I'll put it here in my white suit. White suit, right in the pocket. Okay, you get it. I got a great dirty trick you can play on a 3-year-old kid. See, kids learn how to talk from listening to their parents. See? How's it going? See, this is a good one you can pull on. See, what you do, if you have a 3-year-old kid and you want to play a dirty trick on him, whenever you're around him, you talk wrong. So now it's like his first day in school, and he raises his hand. May I mumbo dog face to the banana patch? Give that kid a special test. Get him out. Well, let me give you a warning, okay? I was in Paris about 2 months ago, and it was just a little vacation. It was on the East Coast. I had 7 days off. I said, well, I'll just go over there and I'll go to Paris. But let me give you a warning. If you're going over there, here's an example. Chapeau means hat. Ouf means egg. It's like those French have a different word for everything. Serious. See, you never appreciate your language till you go to a foreign country that doesn't have the courtesy to speak English. I went over there thinking, no problem. I don't speak any French. I'm thinking, no problem. English is a universal language. It'll be easy. So I get off the plane, get into the taxi, say to the driver, I dig baby talk. Okay. Have I started yet? I have. Okay, well then let's just keep going. Oh, so anyway, you go to Paris, France. And, well, let's go back to what I was talking about Paris, France. I remember, don't worry. No, so did I say a courtesy to speak English? I said that, okay? Now, I went over there thinking, everyone's going to speak English, no problem. I don't speak a word of French. It's a universal language, so I'll just be able to speak English. So I get off the plane, I get into a taxi. The first indication I'm going to have trouble, I say to the driver, like to go to a hotel, please? The driver turns and goes, Je te suis là tout de suite. What? What is that you're saying? So the first thing you do, this is really dumb. You think this will help, you adopt a French accent. I would like to go to the hotel. So that's nothing. So I went out, I bought a little French phrase book, hoping to memorize little phrases, can I go to the bathroom and things like that. But French is not like Spanish. In Spanish, you can sound it out. It's easy for Americans. Every vowel is a syllable. You go, Casa de Pepe. Donde está Casa de Pepe? But French is like, Junta de toi. What happened? He spoke French! Help him! So the only thing I could remember was cheese omelet. Omelette du fromage. I'm practicing all the time. Omelette du fromage. I'm meeting people. Hey, omelette du fromage. Finally, I go into a restaurant. Omelette du fromage. And the problem, if you order in French, the waiter thinks you speak French. He goes, Je te suis le du soir? And you go, yes. He brings you a shoe with cheese on it. And you also told him to force it down your throat. I'll have a shoe with cheese on it, force it down my throat, and I want to massage your grandmother, okay? I finally figured out the secret to ordering food. It's all sound effects. Went into a restaurant, wanted to order milk, eggs, and ham. I'm going to go, The waiter looked at me and goes, I beg your pardon. Okay, enough comedy jokes. All right,
What's your moonwash say?
Yeah, I remember when I had my first beer.
I've heard a lot of comedians use that as a heckle stopper. Including Bob Monkhouse and Chubby Brown have used it, I think.
Oh, I get it. Don't worry, I get it. I know what you're saying. You people are paranoid. You are paranoid. I know what you're saying. You're saying, oh, let's talk about the comedian behind his back. I get it. I see where you're at. No. Hey, that doesn't bother me a bit. I don't need you. I can do this act alone. I often do. do the act for my parents. I take out the dirty stuff. I just made that up. I think it's going to be a big, big hit. I dig making this up, man. This is the creativity in action, you know? Because it's not often that you can pay $4 to see someone jack off like this. I'm in the mood for love, simply because you're near me. Funny, but when you're near me, I'm in the mood for love. Oh, yeah. Thank you. Excuse me, I lost my mind for a minute.
There we are. That was the first half of the album done. Like I said, the way he performed that so big, you can tell by the laughter, it only seems as though there's about 100 people there, but he's performing as if he's performing at a massive stadium, which is what he will be doing on this side of the album at the Red Rock Amphitheatre, which according to my notes has a capacity of around about 10,000 people. And of course this was in the days before stadium shows had the screens up as well, which is why I'm not a big fan of stadium or arena comedy, to be honest, because you lose a lot of that club intimacy, and you might as well be watching it on TV if you're watching it on a screen. But that's why he started wearing the white suit, so you could see him. That's absolutely true. This is, I don't know what this is. It's like a set list, or just like a set list for a show, printed on the back of a postcard that was in this album, and a signed photo. But I love finding things in records. I always leave them there as well, but there you go. So this is the second half, and it segues into the stadium show, if I've remembered it correctly.
By the way, it's a new law now. I have to do this. I don't like to, but it is by law. All comedians must make a financial disclosure during the show or at some point.
Listen to the audience laughter here.
Comedian's financial disclosure in accordance with the unilateral code established by Stephen Martin on this day. This disclosure is presented. Okay, a lot of percentages. Manager and agent, 30 to 35%. Road expenses, usually 10 to 20%. Development of new material, 0.0000001%. I've written that all up in a little pie graph here. Then over here I have a rubber chicken graph. Then I figured out potential concert income. If you fill a 3,000 seat hall at $3 per ticket, the gross is $9,000. If you fill a 3,000 seat hall at $7.50 per ticket, the gross is $22,500. And just for fun, I figured out if you fill a 3,000 seat hall at $800 a ticket, the gross is $2,400,000. And this is what I'm shooting for. One show. Goodbye.
And there you go. There you go. We're now in an arena in the same year as well. That's remarkable. And he's about to go into the Festrunk Brothers character that he did on Saturday Night Live with Dan Aykroyd in this bit, which is called Wild and Crazy Guy.
Crime Stoppers! Usually we say, hi, Steve, one more time. Hi, Crime Stoppers! Let's repeat the Crime Stoppers oath. I promise not to bully my friends. I promise not to leave my keys in the car. I promise not to depreciate non-taxable items brought forth in the previous tax year. Good. And now, let's repeat the non-conformist oath. I promise to be different. I promise to be unique. I promise not to repeat things other people say. Good.
Monty Python's Life of Brian. Yes, we are all individual.
Okay, have a new single out, King Tut. Whoa! Well, as King Tut would say, mucho dinero. Well, the only reason I mention it, first of all, a lot of people do ask me if that's my natural voice on the record. Did we augment it with echo and all those studio tricks? And we did not. That's my absolutely real voice. And, well, I'll prove it to you right now. Here we go. King Tut, how'd you go to Sorry, I just lost my mind just for a moment. But that's okay for me!
There we go.
Because I am a wild and crazy girl! Many people come to me and they say, hey, how can you be such a swinging sex god? Well, I'll tell you, it's not because I can make love up to one time a night. It's not because I say the things a woman wants to hear, like, are you through yet? It's because I know how to read a woman. If she is like a cat, I have kitty litter. If she is like a dog, we do it on the paper. But I'm also a unique guy too. The kind of guy who likes to have his own special scent. Not to smell like every other guy. I like to have my own individual odor. That's why I wear tuna fish sandwich. I put a tuna fish sandwich under each arm, maybe one or two behind the ears. I don't smell like any other guy. And it's economical too, because the smell lasts for 4 or 5 days. Okay. Also, I handle all my own personal finances, and I'm happy to say I recently purchased my own form of private transportation, which we landed out here at the airport this morning. It's not easy landing a station wagon out here at the airport. But actually, part of the money taken in here tonight will be going to charity. I never announce this ahead of time because it always sounds like a phony deal, but I do a lot of work with unwed mothers. just helping them get their start. Now, come on. Actually, I love animals. And there's something going on in Mexico right now. Some people think it's a sport. I happen to think it's cruelty to animals. I'm talking about, of course, cat juggling. They take the little kitties, 10, 12 weeks old, and they juggle them for money. La cucaracha, la cucaracha. Of course, the poor little kittens are going, meow, 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 meow. And there's something going on in Kansas right now that makes me sick. They take little laboratory mice, never hurt anybody, take them out to Hollywood and tell them they're going to be in pictures. Uh-oh, I'm getting happy feet! Wow! But I'll be honest with you. You probably read it in Screw Up Your Life People magazine anyway. I used to smoke marijuana. But I'll tell you something. I would only smoke it in the late evening. Oh, occasionally the early evening, but usually the late evening or the mid-evening. So I just had the early evening, mid-evening, and late evening. Occasionally early afternoon or the mid-afternoon or perhaps the late mid-afternoon. Oh, sometimes the early mid, late early morning. But never at dusk. Never at dusk. I would never do that. Okay, hey, Grandpa bought a rubber.
Don't know if this was recorded all on one night, but these all seem to be fading out into different tracks and stuff like that. It's more like an Andy Kaufman show than a proper stand-up comedy show, really. I absolutely love it, but we're halfway through the second side of the album, and I know it's two separate shows, but it just does not feel like it's started yet, does it? You know, it's...
Right for women, and I'll tell you why. Because so many men think they're into this weird sex. And I'm sorry, that there's something wrong about that. And I wouldn't have said that, but 6 months ago I met a girl. She was taking singing lessons, and her coach, 84-year-old guy, you'd think he'd be the last guy in the world to be weird. But listen to this. He kept wanting her to sing from her diaphragm. I mean, that would take years to learn that, wouldn't it? Now this doesn't happen very often, but about 3 weeks ago I met a girl, and she was real nice, and she invited me to her apartment. So I went over there, and she had the best pussy I have ever seen. Oh, now come on! I'm talking about her cat. Now that makes me sick right there. No, you can't say anything anymore that people don't take it dirty, and I'm sorry, that disgusts me. That cat was the best fuck I ever had. How many people have cats? Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, 10. Now, let me ask you this. Do you trust them? Because I've got to get a pair of cat handcuffs and I got to get them right away. Just the little ones that go around the little front paws. Or maybe the manacles of 4 that get all 4 paws. But what a drag. I found out my cat was embezzling from me. You think you know a cat for 10 years? He pulls something like this. Found out while I was away, he would go out to the mailbox, pick up the checks, take them down to the bank and cash them. Disguised as me. He had the little kitty arrow through the head. and the little kitty bunny ears. And I wouldn't have caught him, but I went outside to his house where he sleeps, and there was about $3,000 worth of cat toys out there. And you can't return them because they have spit all over them. So now I'm stuck with $3,000 worth of cat toys. Oh, sure, they're fun. Got the little rubber mouse, has a bell inside of it. Boy, I hate it when it goes under the sofa. Whoa, give me that, give me that, give me that.
Bizarre. Oh, this is another.
You're a great audience, can I tell you that, okay? You are.
There's another sketching character as the Saturday Night Live characters, Best Drunk Brothers.
But can I tell you something else, too? You Americans are so naive. You have so many naive and simple ways. Well, like when you break up with a girl. It's a big deal. But where I'm from, we have a very simple and mature way of doing it. You just walk up to the girl and you say, I break with thee, I break with thee, I break with thee, and then you throw dog poop on her shoes. Then my brother and I, we go to the crazy swinging singles bar. And we look for the girls with the dog poop on their shoes. I noticed you have a little dog poopy on your shoes. You know, many people come to me and they say, hey, what kind of girl is it you want to meet? Well, I just want to meet a girl with a head on her shoulders. I hate necks. That way, when we go to a fancy restaurant and I walk in with her, every head turns. Except her, she has no neck. You know, a lot of people ask me if Steve Martin is my real name. Have I changed it for show business or anything like that? And no, I'm not ashamed to admit it because I did have a funny name when I was a kid and I decided to change it for show business. But I think enough time has gone by and audiences are more sophisticated now that they won't laugh at my real name. My real name is... My parents had a sense of humor. My sister's name was and my mother got to call us for dinner and she'd go so I had to move around a lot. But other than that, I had a very normal childhood, and I was thinking about this just the other day. I was just sitting home doing terrible things to my dog with a fork. And I started thinking about when I was in high school. I had a real normal, kind of healthy high school. I was on the football team. I was a quarterback, and I quit after 2 weeks. And I'll tell you why. Because when I'm the quarterback, I think I should be calling the plays. I don't think the coach should be sending in the plays. I'm in charge out there, and that's the way I felt. And I had my own strategy. I used to like to punt on first down. So I quit that, became a cheerleader, and that was really fun. You know, I got my first experience standing up in front of people, and I got my first writing experience. I wrote cheers for the team, but the other cheerleaders were so jealous. They would not use one of my cheers. I wrote, "Die, you gravy-sucking pigs." And try and make a touchdown, you scumbags.
Right, we're going into the. I think this is the last bit now. The song King Tut, which he mentioned at the beginning of this, it was released as a single. It was first performed on Saturday Night Live as well. I've got a note about it somewhere, or maybe I haven't. It was the most expensive production ever staged by Saturday Night Live at the time, and it was released as a single. Where was it? It was first performed in April 1978 on Saturday Night Live, and it's about him protesting about the commercialization of Tutankhamun and his treasure and the treasures that an exhibit toured America in between 76 and 79, and he was against the commercialism of that. So that's what this song is about. Since then, it has been complained about. Humanitarian students protested the inclusion of the Saturday Night Live version in their coursework because of alleged cultural appropriation, and that was in 2017. So apologies if this does. I've not listened to this album for a long time, and apologies if this does skate a little close, but I'm going to play it anyway. This is the last track on the album.
On my album, and you came down here expecting me to do a lot of routines from the record, and I didn't do them, maybe one or two. There's a reason for that. I think performers have to move on. You just can't do the same old material over and over and over, and it's kind of a cheat, I think, to rely on the same stuff. And if you don't agree with me, well, excuse me! One of the greatest art exhibits ever to tour the United States.
There we go.
Is the treasures of Tutankhamun or King Tut. Thought he'd see people stand in line to see the boy king. How to get so funky? Did you do the monkey? Born in Arizona, moved to Babylonia. Now if I'd known that line up just to see him, I'd taken all my money and bought me a museum. Buried with a donkey. He's my favorite honky. Born in Arizona, moved to Babylonia. Dancing by the night. The ladies love the style. Rockin' for the fight. He ain't a crocodile. For tourism. Golden idol. He's an Egyptian. They're selling you. Now when I die, don't think I'm a nut. Don't want no fancy funeral, just one like old King Tut. He could have won a Grammy, buried in his jammies. Born in Arizona, Babylonia. Born in Arizona, got a condo made of stoner. King Tut.
Listen to that applause. And there you have it. That was Wild and Crazy Guy by Steve Martin. Performed first off at the boarding house in San Francisco, where his first album, Let's Get Small, was recorded, which I don't have a copy of here. I might have it in storage. I'm sure I've got it, but I couldn't find it. But yeah, Let's Get Small was recorded at that club as well. and then the second half, you can tell the difference in the audience, but not in his performance. Like I said earlier, he performed every gig as if he was in front of millions of people, which is pretty impressive. And I do like that rambling style of, it didn't even feel like the show had started and then it had finished, which is indicative of a lot of comedians. I think the best ones can do that. Interesting that when he went, well, excuse me, the crowd went absolutely fucking wild, which was touched upon on Extras. If you watch that, Ricky Gervais in the second series where the sitcom came along, and he was complaining about having to do the "you're having a laugh, you're having a laugh," and you cut to the audience and they're all wearing t-shirts with "Am I bothered" and garlic bread and all that sort of thing on. The fact that audiences will just be happy for you to shout a catchphrase rather than come up with new material. But there you have it. That was Wild and Crazy Guy by Steve Martin. His book, Born Standing Up, is one of the best memoirs of a comedian. If you've ever seen that, I've got it in here somewhere. Track it down and find that if you can. Carl D1P. I haven't got any of those albums, I'm afraid. No, I haven't. And I hope OYOS had a good sleep or woke up, I don't know. It's charming. Everyone's a critic. That was the Vinyl Comedy Club. Next week, big change in style from Steve Martin, I know, but I will be doing Max Miller. This is a compilation album of, well, it's actually recorded, it was recorded quite late, it was in 1962. So Max Miller was one of the first stand-ups, really, in this country. I'll talk more about him next week, obviously. But please do, if you can see all that behind me, follow me on Twitter at SteveOliver76, Instagram at SteveOliver1976, Facebook Steve Oliver Official. If you're watching this on Twitch, thank you, spread the word. Follow, come back, whatever you have to do on Twitch, I don't know. And if you're watching this on YouTube, then please do subscribe to this channel. Hit the bell, which is a thing, and comment and subscribe and all that sort of thing. And just spread the word. And if you can, there is a PayPal link underneath the YouTube video, but it's written there, paypal.me/Steve Oliver Official. If you can make a donation, keep this going, keep my other project, the Random Sessions, bring it back and bring it going. Go to my main beginning of the page on YouTube and see all the different playlists, all the different things I do, comedy and live music, and all my old radio stuff and all that sort of thing is there as well. My series, The Random Sessions. Who's that just jumped on? Can you tell me a joke? Oh my god, there's pressure. No, I can't. What was your name? I can't see because your name is written in green and I can't see your name, but hello. And Skinhead881, hello. You've all just joined. I'm about to go, so you'll have to follow me now and find out when this episode goes out on YouTube. I really wish you'd been there from the beginning, but hello anyway. Skinhead881, Cash. What does that say? I can't even fucking read that. Cash Hayme 7. Who wants a joke? I can't think of a joke. Seriously, can't think of one off the top of my head. I will tell you you're going to have to come back next week. You are coming back next week and I will tell you a joke. In the meantime, thank you very much for watching Vinyl Comedy Club. I will be back next Sunday live at 4 o'clock and you can catch up on YouTube sometime on Monday, so follow my social media to find out when. Thank you for watching. Goodbye. See you next week. Has that ended? It doesn't end. End stream. Yeah. See, on here I have to do an awkward button press and it doesn't stop straight away. So now this is just us on YouTube. Bye.